think it's working.
Ah.
There we go. I
Good.
think we're live.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on our second ever live.
Yes.
We thought that today would be a good day to do it. We have just sort of been back home from our 5-week adventure and all across Europe. And, the first few weeks back was a little busy catching up and getting things organized, but we thought we'd have a little slot today to sort of talk to everybody and say hi and see if anybody have any questions for us.
Yeah, and before we go too far, hopefully someone can throw a comment. Just make sure you can see us and hear us, because I don't want to talk for a long time.
Right.
So we'll just take a look and see what we've got here. Let me just check the live chat and see. I'll give that a second.
Can someone just say if they can hear us, please?
I'm just going to take a look here myself and see if we can hear us.
I was a child.
Oh, you got a commercial.
Get past the commercial. Okay. Oh, I think that we're there.
Oh, good.
Oh, and I can hear us. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Okay, so it is a Saturday afternoon,
Yes.
and so we know there might be a few people busy, so we are recording this and going to be having it on our channel after we're done.
Right.
And those that do join today, feel free to ask questions. A few people have been asking questions on our YouTube channel and Instagram.
Facebook.
And Facebook, and also our private group on Facebook, asking us certain things. So we'll cover a few of those things as well today. But yeah, we're back. You've seen a couple of our vlogs already, hopefully, that we have gotten. So far, we've gotten away from Dover after visiting London for a couple of days in the vlog series. We've visited Spain for our first stop and a sea day.
Right.
And then starting Wednesday, and then again Saturday as well, we have 2 stops in Portugal. So
Ooh,
you don't want to miss that. 'Cause,
Portugal.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we absolutely loved Portugal. So I'm just going to play with the live chat here for a second just to make sure that it's working. Okay. So where to start? So back from Europe, 5 weeks we did in Europe with 3 different cruises.
We did.
So a bit of the backstory, we did 9 days and 12 days. Actually, we did 12 days first, then 9 days on the Carnival Pride, doing kind of Northern Europe, British Islands. And then we went and flew into Rome, where we did the Norwegian Epic for 7 days in the Mediterranean. So that was 5 weeks worth of being away from Canada. So we're back now. And we're excited to show you all of the adventures. For those that follow us on Instagram, you would have saw kind of a day-by-day kind of picture here and there of what we were doing. And, I see some people are okay. The chat is working. I see Penny saying, hi to Ottawa. Hopefully it's as beautiful in Ottawa as it is here today.
Yeah, we're having gorgeous weather. Northern Ontario this time of year, we don't usually get these high temperatures, but
No.
it's hot. The air conditioner is on in the house because it's so warm outside.
Wish
Gorgeous.
I could turn the camera, because I just saw outside our window there's a deer walking by our front window right now.
Yeah.
And I wish we could turn and show you. So yes, it's beautiful here. So hi, Penny. But so those 3 cruises, we are getting the vlogs out. We're going to do the live again, probably about a month when all of the 12-day Carnival series is done. And then we'll do another one after the 9 day is done, sometime November, and then into the new year. So that is the plan. So I guess before we get too far, thoughts about Europe. What do you think your 5 weeks? Was it everything you thought it was going to be?
It was. We, traveling and doing a 5-week journey after, being locked down for so long. Everybody we know, everybody in our life and friends and family and coworkers were all concerned that something was going to happen. We were going to miss flights. We were going to lose luggage. We were going to test positive, all of those sort of things.
Yeah, more people say stuff like that than say, have a good trip. We're so excited.
Yeah,
Everybody
there was a lot of negative
very worried,
warnings out there,
about
but
travel.
we pulled it off. 5 weeks, no luggage loss, no missed flights, no delays anywhere along the way, and the most important was we were healthy the whole time.
Healthy, no COVID concerns. We only had to do 1 test for COVID. Some people wanted to know that. We had to test to get on the ship in Dover. We had to have a negative test. And then doing the back-to-back in Europe with Carnival, there was no requirement for testing on a back-to-back.
Right.
And then when we flew into Rome for Norwegian had dropped the testing requirement altogether for cruising as of August 1st, and we had arrived there August 21st, I believe it was, 22nd for the cruise.
All right. Oh, hello from Florida. Well, you're probably having hotter weather than we are, but it's very nice here too today.
Yeah, it's almost hot and sticky like Florida. Not to the extreme of Florida, but it's pretty close. So yeah, it's not quite as hot,
Southwest.
and there's no Ross dress for less down the road, thankfully too. So
Yeah, that's a real hardship for me.
I don't know if you've heard or not. If you've been following along, you might have. 45 dresses came to Europe.
45 dresses. I mean, we were gone for more than that. More than that. So I did
35
very
days,
well. I had to
35 days,
repeat
yeah,
some.
45 dresses. Yeah, you had to repeat some dresses. Yeah. Yeah, so 4 suitcases full of 45 dresses. I managed to bring 2 pairs of underwear and wash them every other day, and that's
So not true. If you've watched the vlog, Mr. Canuck has his fair share of clothes too. We brought 2 suits with us and 7 or 8 ties and everything that goes with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh.
we didn't travel light.
Rose is on as well. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose from
We love all your
Newmarket.
comments and questions on our YouTube channel.
I'm sure you're having a hot day there. We're hearing from our family that live in that area that it's a hot, sticky one there too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's very strange in Northern Ontario to have like humidex values in the 30s. So in American, that would be what, 80, 90 in September? It's really weird.
September is
Yeah.
strange for us.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost
We're
start of the fall.
enjoying
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
but we're not going to complain. But we did put up with a lot of heat in Europe. So
Right.
it was hot, like hotter than it usually is in London, Scotland, Ireland.
Right. We
had-
thought that was going to be the cool part of our trip because
Yeah.
we knew we were going to be going places. We're traveling in Europe in the end of July, August. We knew we were going to have heat. But we thought, well, it's not going to be too bad in London. It's not going to be too hot in Ireland, all of those places.
It was.
Yeah, they were breaking records while we were there, so that was wonderful.
Oh, I'm getting your necklace is rubbing against your mic. I
Oh,
just saw a
sorry.
comment.
There. Can I pull that there? Sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm wearing my necklace from Buckingham Palace. I thought I
So
should wear that.
show the necklace because
Show the
it has to.
necklace.
We showed in the vlog Jill buying the necklace, but we actually didn't show the necklace itself. We just showed the bag it came in.
Right.
So that's her necklace, and so sad and after leaving to see the death of the Queen. So
Right.
yeah, very
And
very
this
sad.
was just a little keepsake item for us, but the crown that she's probably most famous for. Anyway, so yeah, I'll take that off maybe so it doesn't bother anybody
Doesn't
else.
hit the microphone. So yeah, so thanks Southwest Florida Bulldog for just letting you know that was rubbing. Got
Yes,
that fixed.
thank
Hello
you.
from Vegas, by the way. Man, we keep thinking of we're hot. I'm thinking some of these spots must be hotter still. And Rose loves the necklace. Thanks, Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Canada as well. So the Ottawa area. Someone else has joined. Husky Woodworks. And I see that Ronald's there from Netherlands. And
Hi, Ronald.
We were in the Netherlands. That was part of the very last day of our 12-day cruise. When we do the live, I think in October, we will have just released the Netherlands, Amsterdam vlog that we did there. So yeah, and I think what we were saying before we got distracted was we absolutely loved our trip to Europe. No regrets at all. Ronald asked us what was positive, what was negative for you.
Okay. Well, positive was, we had built this up in our mind quite a while before going because starting in London. London was a trip that was supposed to happen for me before I even met Mr. Canuck, and because of situations, it didn't happen. So
Belfast. Hi, Catherine from Belfast.
So the fact that we were able to do that, this was definitely a bucket list trip for us, and it lived up to all of our expectations. So that was phenomenal. Negative,
What was negative?
Negative. I'm trying to think. Like, we were very fortunate and very grateful because we didn't have, we spoke to so many people that had lost luggage or delayed flights, all of those things traveling right now. That's tricky for so many. And we had none of that. So we were just so grateful that all of that happened. If anything, the biggest negative for me was there were times where it was too rushed. I feel like I still need to go back to part of it. And I mean, we kind of knew that coming into it, that there would be places that we felt like we didn't have enough time. So yeah, that would be the biggest negative, I would say, for me, was that there's definitely places that I felt we didn't have enough time to see everything we wanted to do and stay as long. So sounds like we have to go back to Europe sometime.
For sure, yeah, yeah. And I had different positives and negatives, but a few people joined. So yeah, we got Kathleen from Belfast, we got Karen coming in from Western Colorado, and we've got Jason saying that we want to say hi to his fiancee Brittany. So hi, Brittany.
Oh, hi, Brittany.
And
Welcome to joining us.
Thanks for following our channel. And so my positives, negatives. Get back to Ronald's question there. Positives for me was it's hard to say. Every almost every single port we went to, we literally looked out the window and we were like, oh my gosh, this is the best day ever, right? And that was the positive, was the constant amazement of what we saw in Europe, that we kept thinking that tomorrow can't possibly be as good as
Right,
today.
right.
And it topped the day before, and it kept going for 5 weeks like that. It's hard to imagine, but we were just, you'll see in the vlogs,
Yeah.
you'll get tired of us saying this was phenomenal today.
There were days where I felt like I was repeating myself because
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so beautiful, this is so beautiful, and then we go to another town, this is so beautiful. It's so different than North America, right? You
Yeah.
can't compare visiting some of these iconic cities that we were fortunate enough to see compared to what we're used to in North America. We have beautiful cities in Canada and the US, but we just don't have the history and some of the just amazing stuff we saw.
You're stealing my positives and negatives.
Oh, really? Sorry.
So that's my positive. Positive also, I got a couple positives and a couple negatives, I guess. So I'm going to put one extra one in for Ronald there. The other positive was really surprised, and you'll see this a little later in the next month or two. Really unexpected, really positive experience in Norwegian. We had during COVID, fighting with Norwegian over getting refunds and different kind of non-cruise issues that kind of turned us off a little bit of Norwegian.
Yeah.
But service, they stepped it up. It was amazing. And I guess one really big positive is we were lucky enough to be on board Norwegian when the masking mandate lifted for crew. So
That's a bit of an emotional time because, as we were cruising, while we didn't have to wear masks, staff did, it sort of felt like a bit of a disconnect.
Yeah.
And so the night that they announced that as of midnight that night, staff would no longer be required, they could, if for choice, just like passengers were, but they didn't have to.
Yeah.
And it was just so nice, the next day to see people smiling and to see the joy that they had because they've worked through some difficult times. So that was fun and enjoyable to be able to share that experience with so many wonderful crew.
And we found out before a lot of the staff. So we were going around to the staff, stopping in a bar, having a drink, saying, "Do you know that you don't have to wear a mask as of midnight?" And they're like, "No." They thought, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Trust me, you're going to find out at midnight tonight you don't have to wear a mask."
We had been at a welcome back party for past cruisers, and the cruise director announced it to us before they'd even told the staff. So it was kind of fun because we were probably broke the news to at least half a dozen staff members.
Yeah. And the negative was, this is Crown Royal right here and a little bit of Diet Pepsi today. No Crown Royal on this trip. There was Crown Royal physically on the ship. And one ship I could have ordered Crown Royal, but it was outside the drink package price.
Which is strange because it's never been
it was
that sort of thing.
$17, I think it was, for
one drink.
One Crown Royal. That's 1 ounce of Crown Royal for $17, where you go across the hall to the duty free, and they're selling it on the ship for like double that price, a whole bottle. So
2 bottles for $34, but one shot was 17
so that was
at the bar.
That was the negative. And I guess the other thing is, and you'll see through the vlogs, there were some disconnects and inconsistency with Carnival that we kind of caught us off guard with some of the changes since COVID.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a negative at times, but didn't ruin the trip. It was just kind of, we didn't expect it, I guess. So let's see if I can get caught up a little bit
Well,
here.
since you're having a drink, we were supposed to do this at the beginning, but we're going to do a little cheers here on camera
Can you
because
see what you're doing?
I hope so. There, sorry.
I'll get up with questions while you're unwinding that there. Just look
Okay.
at Andrew's surprised we didn't get any airport mayhem, and congratulations. Yeah, we ran
we
into, I
were
think,
lucky.
a couple from the Detroit area, I think it was, and they had their luggage not show up in London for the cruise. And they thought it was going to get to them, and there was a couple different scenarios that played out. One couple had it actually returned to their home in Detroit. It never did come across these.
One was Atlanta I spoke to, Atlanta, Georgia.
Another one was the luggage came to the airport, but they wouldn't let the cruise company bring it up and bring it to the ship. They physically had to go there themselves to get it. So they had to go on a back-to-back port day and go to the airport and pick up their luggage and bring it back because they wouldn't release it to the cruise line. So you want that? Or you want me to get that?
I think you might need to do that. Sorry, guys. I thought it would be.
It's coming.
Oh, is it?
Let's see if it
Let's
goes-
hope it doesn't
if
spill all over
if
my
everything
carpet.
stops in the live right now, it's because we got
Champagne on the
or
computer?
Prosecco, everything.
No, let's not do that. Maybe move to the side, off camera a bit. Oh, good job.
There you go.
So, cheers, everyone, to 5 weeks.
Successful,
Successful, no delays, no problems whatsoever. And
Cheers.
thank you guys for watching our
Oh,
videos and following
we
along on our
appreciate it.
journal. We do.
Yeah, I didn't drink. You can't cheers and not drink after you
That's
cheers,
right. It's not right.
Yeah, that's the rule. No sense breaking the rules. Oh, nice. hopefully you're having a drink on this Saturday afternoon as well, or whenever it is you're watching this recorded version down the road. So, okay, just looking to see here, Southwest Florida Bulldog, that's cruising. It's like buffet of ports, not a huge meal of anyone. Thank you from Jason for saying hi to Brittany.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Brittany. And
Sorry, I got to get the lady glasses on here
cruise
now.
crew are the best for sure. We love the crew. They make a
Yeah.
cruise, like they really do. Without them, their smiles and their attitude.
I'm just reading this one from Andrew. One of my suitcases got stuck at Toronto Pearson in July. At least Air Canada was very good at finding it and delivering it home to me relatively quickly.
That's good, yeah.
That's nice.
Well, we did this time on the advice of Paul and Carol of Paul and Carol Loves to Travel. Their YouTube channel. We got the air tags. We had 4 air tags. We had 4 suitcases. We put 1 in each suitcase, and we were able to track on our phones when the suitcases moved around the airport, when they were actually in the belly of the plane. When we arrived across overseas, we were able to see that they were there with us in London or Gatwick when we arrived. So that there's nothing we can do about it if they don't make it, but at least we had peace of mind and we didn't have to worry about that, knowing that it was on the plane.
It just made me have a much more relaxing flight. I love Andrew's comment here. My goodness, what do we need to do to get more ships to stock Crown Royal? As much as Jerry talks about Crown Royal, I want to try some.
Well, here's the problem though. So what I am seeing is that all the Carnival Corporation cruise lines are not carrying Crown Royal anymore in the bars at all.
They're not carrying it.
Norwegian had it at the bar, but it was more expensive. But,
and I kept saying, it's okay, just buy it, because trust me, Andrew.
It was an extra $1.
He talks nonstop. And yeah, it was only like $1.75 or something extra on our cruise, on our drink package that we had. So I'm like, just get it.
That's one more dollar.
But they did have other rye there that was similar to it.
We did find Canadian whiskey, so that
Right.
kind of balanced it out a little bit. At least it was kind of, we had the Canadian content.
Right.
And yeah, and you don't want to spend an extra $1 for Crown, because 5-6 drinks of Crown that way, that's one of Jill's dresses from Dress.
Oh, stop.
So don't want to cut into the dress budget.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what it was. Cheers, Eric.
Ronald says basically a wonderful trip. Crown Royal with Pepsi. Yeah, Crown Royal with Diet Pepsi for me, but with Pepsi, with ginger ale.
And I don't like Crown Royal at all, but there's been a few times where that's been the only alcohol we've had. There's been cruises before that we've ordered a bottle to our room and we've had that. The only way I can drink it is with juice, like a cranberry orange juice in there, then it's tolerable. But just to have it like how Mr. Canuck does, too strong for me.
Just in case the live goes really long, I am stocked today.
Yeah, that's what we had to buy when I bought that for him when we came home after all this many weeks, because you're right, he gets a little fixated on things, and Crown Royal was one of them.
Okay, some of the questions we had online there is we're seeing comments come in. We'll try to slide some of these in too. Someone had asked us if there was any language issues for us being English only. We knew a little bit of French from being in Canada and we did French in school.
Right.
And so how was the language? Did you ever notice it?
Well, I mean, we were very fortunate to be traveling in very touristy areas, and so there was always someone to speak English. Where I noticed it was when I was trying to pronounce some of the names of the cities. I felt very uneducated and I butchered it, and so you'll see that on the vlogs, because I'm trying to describe where we're going and I can't for the life of me. So for me, a sort of a future goal is maybe to do a little more with learning the language, to at least pronounce the cities and towns that we're going to and the things we're trying to do.
Still getting static on a mic is what I'm seeing. So
oh, really?
Maybe I will disconnect our wireless mics and go straight to the camera mic.
Yeah, okay. So that might be better.
You keep talking about the language issues, and how about the Welsh accent? How'd you do with that?
Yeah, the Welsh accent was enjoyable for me, but I know some of the people we were traveling with had a little more difficulties with it. But I'm from Newfoundland originally, and so having the Irish accents and then into the Welsh, it was, I didn't notice it to be difficult. I loved the sound of it. I love the sounds of different accents. I can appreciate it. I wish that I was able to speak more languages, but is that better? Should I turn this off?
Yeah, let's try that. I think we're on the camera mic now. Okay. Let me just do a little bit of widgeting here and just check. Oh yeah, we got tons of volume I can see here on the, maybe too much now.
All right.
How does that sound, everybody? Are we doing a little bit better there with the camera mic, and that way we're not having the static from these wireless things.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. We debated before, actually, the live. So anyways, we'll go with that. We'll just watch the comments, see if anybody says. But we're now on the camera microphone, so hopefully that eliminates the static issues that we've been hearing. And we're free and clear now from those mics. We can dance around and do whatever we want. So.
Oh, Rose loves crown with ginger ale. See, I have a few girlfriends that's the same, Rose. They do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some static on the sound. Sounds good, someone says. So hopefully that solves the problem there. Yeah, this is better is what Andrew's saying. So.
Oh, good.
Thanks, everybody.
So Andrew has a question. How much do you think you've saved with the drink package? How much do the ship bars usually charge for the drinks? Well, it depends on the cruise line.
Yeah, I was really surprised. So on the first 12-day Carnival part of this European cruise adventure, we didn't have the drink package.
No.
So I went up to the bar one night and I thought, what the heck, I'm on vacation, I'm just ordering a drink. I'm going to get myself, there wasn't Crown Royal, there was a different type of Canadian whiskey. I'll have that with Diet Pop, look just like what I'm drinking today, just look like this in a glass. And we had, the Carnival makes you sign this little chit for whenever you buy anything. And what was it, $15, $16?
$16
American, so
Yeah.
let's do the Canadian math there. That's over $20 for a single glass. So
I think it's a 20% gratuity now. It was 18. I'm not sure. It could be still 18 or it might be 20. But by the time you put the gratuity on every single drink, you're looking at around $20 American for a drink. You might be $1 or less than that, but somewhere around that. So if you're having more than 2 drinks, you're
Yeah, it was pricier than expected because I thought for a glass of whiskey and pop, I was thinking $7 or $8 is what my brain was thinking. It was double
And
what I thought.
What we had done was we bought wine packages for the dining rooms, so you save a little bit when you do it that way. When you buy it in bulk, I think it was around $175 for a wine package, and that gave us 5 bottles of wine. So, but the good thing about Carnival and traveling out of Europe was you were allowed to bring on alcohol.
We forgot to talk about that. Yeah.
So that was the way to save. If you didn't need the drink package, because Mr. Canuck was able to bring on a bottle of rye. I brought on wine. At one point, we brought on a bottle of vodka. All of that was fine to bring to your room, make mixed drinks. We had our travel insulated Carnival mugs with us, so we would pour a drink and go poolside with them.
Yeah, so we weren't sneaking this onto the ship.
No.
You could go off and buy any type of alcohol, not just wine, anything, and bring it onto the ship at every single port if you wanted to. There was nobody checking, or if they even x-rayed, they didn't even care if there was alcohol.
Didn't care. Yeah.
They weren't confiscating it like they do in the Caribbean ports. So we found that was nice if you didn't have the drink package. We had the drink package on the second leg of the Carnival because of a promotion we booked back during COVID when we booked that cruise. So that was nice, of course, having the drink package on the second leg, and then we had it as well on Norwegian. But the drinks, if you had to pay for them, are expensive. So I think there is a savings. I think, like a lot of people think, you gotta have 5 or 6 drinks a day to make it break even. There's a bunch of math on how you can do this. I think when you figure in the gratuity and you figure in the different type of drinks you might drink, and you throw in stuff like specialty coffees or water and stuff that you might get as well, that I think that you're closer to, a couple, 2 or 3 alcoholic drinks and maybe a couple of coffees and waters, and you're already at the break even. So
That's right.
So I think the drink package is easy to overcome, even where on some cruise lines where it's expensive. Carnival can be a little pricey compared to others, but still, their individual drinks are pretty pricey. So
for sure.
So if we were booking Carnival again in Europe, we probably wouldn't book the drink package because we can bring alcohol
you
on.
could bring it on. Whereas Norwegian, you couldn't.
Right.
There was somebody embarking with us there, and they had a bottle of vodka, and they were pulled away through the X-ray and dealt with security with that. So I don't know if it was confiscated or they had to pay a fee, whatever.
So Andrew wants to know, did you try any interesting wines on your European cruise?
Interesting wines. There were some.
We tried to theme it to where we were, is what we tried to do.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to see in Wednesday's vlog that's coming out this week that we're in Porto, or actually a city close to Porto. And so, of course, you have to have
Porto.
port wine. So
In
we had
Spain,
that.
we had sangria,
Yeah.
because that's where sangria was first created.
Italy, we just drank constantly.
You know what? So what you'll see throughout the vlogs was we often went with whatever they recommended, their house wines and that. And we were in a few Italian restaurants specifically where it was literally made in the restaurant, the wine.
I finally understood what house wine. I always wondered house wine. That's got a weird term, right? It's just like the cheapest or whatever wine they have and they buy it. In North America, that's what it is usually.
Yes.
House wine in Italy, they make it in-house.
In-house.
Somewhere probably in a basement or back room.
Yeah.
They're actually making the wine
They
themselves.
were making it. It had been made there, we were told, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
But you know, I appreciate certain wines, and Mr. Canuck appreciates the opposite. I like a dry wine, and he likes a sweet wine. So it's hard for us to come to compromise to share a wine. So it was nice when we were traveling with other people, and then we could have different bottles with us. But yeah.
Oh, so another question that we had online, excursions. Did we do any excursions? So yes and no. So if you've seen our vlogs before, and as you see the European ones, you're going to see that we really like going to a port and kind of literally finding out what there is to do. We do some research, we have an idea of what we think we want to do, but we kind of hit the ground running a little bit based on some research, and then we kind of do whatever looks like it makes sense or what's easy to do.
Right.
And it's hard to explain, but we, like for example, a typical port, we may get off, we're looking to see if the shuttle bus is free to get to town. If it's not free, how do we get there? Do we take a taxi, an Uber? Do we hop on a train? Do we go to the city? We literally did a little bit of everything on this trip.
We did.
Now excursions, we did 2 excursions. One with Carnival, one with
Ship,
Norwegian.
yeah,
Ship
excursions.
paid excursions. And the reason we did those is because the places we were going to, in this case Paris and Florence, were so far away from the ship, it was hours away, that we didn't want to be in a situation where we didn't get back to the ship on time.
Right.
So we booked the ship excursion knowing that we could we do that. And other ports where we were navigating trains and stuff, if we knew the trains were running every 15, 20 minutes back and forth to where we needed to go to, we weren't doing that because we wanted that freedom to be able to go somewhere and get back in time for the ship's departure.
The other issue is in Europe right now, there's a lot of train strikes. With that that happened to us. We had originally booked tickets prior to leaving Canada to take the train from London to Dover, and we found out a few days prior to leaving Canada that the train was going to be on strike for that one day only, that we needed to have our tickets. So we were a little apprehensive after that because we last minute had to hire a private driver. It cost way more money. Anyway, so we were a little apprehensive with doing the train going into Paris, 3-hour train ride from where we docked. So that's what made us decide, let's book with Carnival and not have to worry about the train, just in case we wake up and there's a strike that day, that sort of thing. Otherwise, we probably would have been able to do it ourselves.
Yeah. And I think when we did the ship paid excursion to Paris, we did the day we came back, we thought this is why we don't do ship excursions, because you're kind of regimented by what they're going to show you, and you're with 50 or 60 other people that they're trying to get on the bus on time and coordinate things.
And we didn't really have a great experience because we were given a specific time to get back on the bus in Paris, and everybody did, with the exception of 2 people, and we waited 3/4 of an hour for them to find those people.
Losing time in Paris when we only had a short window.
So it was a very expensive day, and in retrospect, it was probably one of my most disappointing excursions I've ever did. Don't get me wrong, I loved Paris, I loved the Eiffel Tower, I loved all the sights we saw, but the actual excursion itself, how it played out, was left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yep.
But Norwegian redeemed themselves, because when we went to Norwegian, we probably had one of the best ship excursions that we had ever done.
Yep, for sure. So you don't know what you're going to get when you're getting into a ship excursion. Where if you're doing it yourself, you kind of control the pace, what you're going to see. Or you might see something that catches your attention you didn't expect. You all of a sudden branch off and do that instead. So we like the freedom of doing that. Just I know that some people it's out of their comfort zone,
right?
Especially when you're talking different languages.
Yeah.
But the longer we were in Europe, the more we realized that a lot of people in Europe spoke English. And I felt kind of bad because Europeans are absolutely amazing. They speak multiple languages. It just blows my mind how they can speak Spanish and Italian and German and English. And we go over there and we've got our single language that we're trying to hope somebody will understand what we're saying. But they were all really good. We did have their phones with the translator app was our backup plan, but we never even had to use that, not once.
Yeah.
So how was the weather this time of year in Europe? I see it just came up. Oof, the weather.
Hot.
Don't ask me, because I'll tell you, Jill got tired of me saying it was hot.
Told him he wasn't allowed to say that anymore. We knew it was going to be hot when we went there. But I mean, it was so hot everywhere. Even London, when we went and toured Buckingham Palace, the Queen's Garden, is that what they call it?
The
Queen's
the big yard in the backside.
It was just burnt. The grass
Queen's
was
backyard.
dead,
I guess
burnt.
the King's backyard now.
Yeah.
It was burnt. We were in Florence. By the time we got back on the bus in Florence, it was 38 degrees Celsius. That's, I don't know what that is now. Do the math in my head. That's like 110 Fahrenheit or something.
We had one day of drizzle rain, I would say, not even real rain, and that was in Scotland. Which, kind of made Scotland
kind of fitting
feel
for Scotland.
right, We had people apologizing. There were Scottish people that we were meeting. They were apologizing that we came on such a bad weather day. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is part of the experience. I feel like it needs to rain while I'm in Scotland. And after all the heat we had, it was a welcome reprieve that day from the heat and the sun.
Yeah, I see Andrew there is just saying that, he did a trip to Israel, and again, he was with a small group, and he said when you're with big groups, you kind of, it can be problematic with the timing and getting everybody doing the same thing. So
yeah, small group excursions are way better. And when you're trying to fill a full coach bus, it can be tricky.
Yeah, and we had a small group tour. We booked, don't want to give too much away from the vlog, in Rome, but we booked a tour in Rome that we thought was an excursion that we were going to relax for the day because we had walked so much. Europeans, again, totally different lifestyle. You don't hop in your car and go from spot to spot. You may hop in a train if it's a long ways away, but usually you hop on your bike or you just start walking. And so we did more walking than we've ever done our whole life. So, but yeah, in Rome we did an excursion, kind of a private excursion as well, that we thought was hopping on an air-conditioned bus because it was hot. And we walked.
You have to watch that vlog. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
We probably walked farther than we have in our whole life in a single day. Let me just say that. In the heat of Rome, we rewarded ourselves with some wine and meal in front of Trevi Fountain. But that's all I'm giving. But
that's a lot. You gave a lot away. But you have to watch that day. It was quite the day. Andrew has a question. He says, I always wondered what cruise ship staterooms are like. They seem so much smaller than typical U.S. hotel rooms. You're right. They are, generally.
Yep.
Unless you're in I've been in smaller rooms in, say, New York City, even downtown Toronto.
Well, if you see our London vlog, that little room there, that was still probably a little bit bigger than a cruise ship room, but not a lot. Like, take the kitchen part out of that London hotel room we were at, and that was pretty close. The bathroom was the same size, the bed.
Right. Yeah. So what I'll say is they're generally a smaller square footage than what we're used to in a North American hotel room, but they have better space and storage areas, and everything's thought out well and works fine. I don't think we've been on how many cruises now? 30 something, and there was really only one room out of all of those cruises that I said, this room's too small for me. I wouldn't want to stay here again. And that was one where you had to put your foot over the edge of the bed to get into it.
Yeah, the rule of thumb I find is, first of all, inside cabins are usually the smallest.
They are.
But we also find that the older the ship, the bigger the rooms. So if you add those two factors together, inside rooms on newer ships usually means smallest you're going to get.
True.
Inside rooms on older ships, like the Pride we were just on,
right,
a little bit bigger.
It was very spacious, had a full-size sofa in it, had a very nice large makeup area, a very decent-sized shower. So yeah, the older ships tend to have bigger square footage in their rooms. Now, it does depend on cruise line to cruise line. The smallest bathroom we ever had was on a Princess. The largest was on a Holland America. So there's variations between cruise line. It depends on what ship and what cruise line you're looking at booking.
And Southwest Florida Bulldog made a comment there. The rooms are okay, but the showers, however, laugh out loud. And yes. And yes, we agree for sure that our Princess shower in July, that vlog series, that was puny. Like I barely fit in.
That shower was ridiculous.
The funny thing is the shower in the London hotel room we just stayed at was probably equally as small.
Around the same size.
Yeah, there wasn't even room or anywhere to put you showered like this, and you had to this to try to find the soap and put it on your hair like this.
I actually received a bruise from that on my arm from that shower. So
yeah, no, it was funny, but yeah. And Shannon's on. Hi, Shannon. We've been watching your vlogs. Oh, they're going on their first post-pandemic cruise. Congratulations.
And on New Amsterdam.
Good
one
choice.
of my favorite.
Good choice.
We're booked back onto New Amsterdam because we love New Amsterdam.
In March, we're going to be in New Amsterdam, and we've even booked a poolside cabana. So I hope I'm not giving too much away again. But
Yeah, he always does that. But, you know, talking about cruise ship bathrooms, New Amsterdam, the room we had there, we had a bathtub. It was
Just
the largest bathroom we've ever had on a
Well,
cruise ship.
we were in an ocean-obstructed room, so not a big stateroom or even
No,
balcony.
nothing fancy.
We had a bathtub in it.
Yeah, so that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, and it's not their newer class ship, and so their bathrooms seem quite generous.
So Shannon says thumbs up right on. Yeah, good choice. That's why we're going on the New Amsterdam again.
Yeah.
We've never actually vlogged the New Amsterdam. We do have the ship tour for the New Amsterdam, but we've never done day-to-day vlogging.
Oh, someone else is going to be going there on New Amsterdam also.
Next
I'm
month.
Sorry.
Felicia Lee is going on the Amsterdam
Nice.
next month. Yeah, I think I saw that somewhere on our YouTube. That Felicia Lee, or yeah, I think so. That she's doing the New Amsterdam. So yeah.
Oh, I love this one. It's from Southwest Florida building. He says he's going back on the Crown Princess next year, so he's dieting now so he can fit in the shower. Yeah, we need to do that too. We're going to be on a princess. We're going on the Sky Princess, which we haven't been on in January.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, I don't know, let me know if you know, that the shower is bigger than the
Yeah.
well, sorry, what was the one we just got off?
We were on the Caribbean Princess.
Caribbean
yeah.
Princess.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the shower is bigger, but if
Yeah.
not, it's going to be a
Yeah,
challenge.
it was small. It was a small shower. Yeah, we definitely didn't fit in together. No, how hard we tried. We couldn't get in there.
Oh yeah, right.
So,
Anyways.
so
what's some of your other
some other questions, things that have come up. You know, one thing people have been wondering about is how does Carnival Cruise Line translate into Europe? Because
right.
Carnival mostly does all North America, big American market. They only send one ship usually a year, if they go once a year.
Yeah.
And it's the Pride. Pride's going again next year, I see. And people are kind of wondering, how does it translate? Is it any different than traveling Carnival in the Caribbean, for example?
Right. Not much.
Nope. It's like going out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami or New Orleans. It's the exact same menu. It's the same type of entertainment. I would say it was very, very much like being on a Carnival cruise anywhere else.
Yes.
Which was kind of odd because we thought maybe there'd be a twist or a change for. The only thing different was they didn't take your alcohol coming on the board, so that was a change that we liked.
And the one thing we noticed was they brought on some special performers throughout the European cruise that were like performers that generally work out of London or other different cities in Europe, and they would come on and stay with us for 2 or 3 nights, and we saw some phenomenal talent through that. So I enjoyed that aspect that Carnival had brought on.
And Southwest Florida Bulldog giving you good news. Sky has bigger showers.
Oh, good, good.
They can both fit in.
No.
And Ronald's just saying, I missed it about your next vlog. So Ronald, our next vlog will be this Wednesday. We have, we go into, itinerary-wise, it was Porto. We didn't actually go into Porto. We spent time in Matosinhos,
yes,
which is part of Lexo Sport. And then on Saturday, so a week from today, we will be in Lisbon, and Lisbon blew us away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lisbon was gorgeous.
We walked out of our. We had an interior obstructed kind of window view, so we couldn't really see much from our window. We come up and we walk up to the buffet just to grab something to drink, grab a tea type of thing. And Joe looks out the window and like tears come to her eyes. That's how beautiful Lisbon was.
It was breathtaking. That's all it was. It was just a gorgeous European city. It's what every North American person thinks they're going to Europe, they're going to see. That was Lisbon. It was picture perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just catching up with some comments here. Shannon says, we are avid boaters, not cruisers. Would love to see a tour of our boat in the future. So yeah, our poor boat this year, we did so much cruising and our boating season started late because of a delay getting the boat in the water.
The crane operator was on strike.
And now the boat comes out, believe it or not, in 2 weeks our boat comes out of the water.
Yeah.
We have spent 2 days on our beautiful 40-foot boat.
Yeah, but in saying that, our family did use it.
Yeah.
So while we were in Europe, my brother and some other friends and family all were up looking after our house, looking after our puppy, enjoying our boat. So at least, I mean, we didn't use it, but at least there were some people that used it. But sure, we can do a vlog from the boat.
And I thought about doing that. Like I kind of tried doing one before. I didn't really get it finished, but I thought doing like getting up in the morning and saying it's cruise day, and then going down into the marina and showing you how cruise day on our boat looks, right?
Definitely not as relaxing.
Yes, and nobody cooks our meals. I cook the meals.
Yeah.
Nobody does
Nobody cleans the boat.
We clean the boat.
How many spiders did I have to
Yeah.
Get rid of when we came back from Europe on our big
There's no
boat?
entertainment except when Jill gets up to sing.
Oh yeah, right. But yes, we can show the boat
Yeah.
if people are interested in that for sure.
Yeah, and catching up here, Andrew Davey, now that you've tried multiple Carnival and cruise lines, which one is your favorite? So just kind of as a bit of a tease for what's coming later this year, we are still booked on 2 Carnival cruises.
We do.
Actual Carnival. Actually, we are booked on Carnival Corporation cruises for the next year almost.
Oh, wow.
All Carnival Corporation.
It's true
We are
right
doing
now.
Carnival at Christmas and New Year's. We are going to be in Los Angeles, where it all began for us. You know,
Yeah, our very first cruise was
Yeah.
a Carnival ship out of LA, and
Yeah.
we're going back.
We're doing that again. We're going out and doing the Mexican Pacific Coast to Cabo and a few stops. And then we're going to be doing the Princess that we spoke about a little bit earlier. And then we're going back onto Holland America in March.
Yeah,
And it
the
looks
New
like
Amsterdam.
Alaska looks like it could be in our future finally, despite Jill's fears of it. But yeah, but all those ships are all Carnival Corporation. So back to Andrew's question. So our Carnival favorite. Oh, that's interesting because we're in the middle of putting together a video on our channel that will say, what is better, Holland America or Princess? What do we prefer? So yeah, as you notice, there's one missing from that. Carnival's missing from that. But I think Carnival's at a different level of audience and pricing than those other two.
For sure.
I think Carnival is kind of the entry level of cruising for a lot of people, and especially families, young families. And then you move up into Princess and Holland America. That's kind of at the next level, I would argue. So that's why I think I would take Carnival out of the mix, and so it comes down to Princess and Holland America.
So in saying that though, we haven't been on Carnival's newer ships, and so that's what we're doing at Christmas. We're going to be on one of their newer ships, not their newest. We're not going on the Mardi Gras. We're going on
Panorama, which isn't
is
brand new because
brand-
they have a whole new class of ship, but that's the newest for us. Yeah.
But it's the newer one for us, and so I know that there's sort of a big shift in those ones, and so we're going to compare that and see. But yeah, judgment is still out, and it changes what our favorite is from depending on what type of cruise you're looking for. But
yeah,
we really do enjoy Holland America, and we had a fabulous time on Princess, and we're
Yeah.
looking forward to having a fabulous time
Yeah,
in January.
I would say that those two, Holland America and Princess, are running neck and neck right now. And I'm back and forth. Depends on the type of cruise. If I want a more upbeat, active cruise, more light or nightlife, more entertainment stuff going on during the day. Nightlife, day life. I don't know.
I'm just looking at everybody that's going on that ship. Wow,
Yeah.
it's amazing. A lot of people going.
I'm Princess one day, then I'm back to Holland America the next day because Holland America, they spoil you for sure. So it's 2 different cruises. But the verdict is out. But hopefully we'll know in a year from now after we do one more Princess and a couple more Holland America, even 2 more Carnival, which one is for sure our favorite.
Right.
So you're going to give us a few months. You're catching up. What am I missing?
I'm just looking at Husky Woodworks. It says we'll be on Conningsdam going Vancouver, Hawaii, and Vancouver, May
So-
13th.
Okay, so we're going to be on the Conningsdam.
April.
Hopefully 2 months after you. We're thinking July looks like Conningsdam for us in Alaska.
Yes.
So don't break the boat.
And Andrew's asking, do we have any plans to try Celebrity or Viking anytime soon?
Good question.
Yes. The short answer is yes. We're trying to figure out how to work that in. We
Yes.
tried really hard to do a Celebrity this summer, and it just wasn't in the cards.
Almost.
But definitely, we hear wonderful things about Celebrity, and we
Yep.
definitely want to try it. Viking, we've gone back and forth with that, and do we do a Viking river cruise? They're
Ocean.
quite expensive. They
Yeah.
do have ocean liners, but definitely Celebrity will probably be the next, not Carnival owned corporation
Yep.
cruise line that we're going to try to get on.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're on a Celebrity sometime in 2023. So sometime next year, I think we'll be on a Celebrity at some point, whether it's spring, summer, fall, or winter. Some point we're going to be on there.
Right.
Yeah. So depends if we can get Mrs. Canuck to stop her day job and start cruising more often.
Yeah. Well,
Fingers crossed.
we're working on that goal, guys. Anyways, any chance there might be a group cruise someday? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. We're looking at that. We kind of pitched it that our March break cruise could be a group cruise. We're doing the New Amsterdam. We're heading out and going to the ABC Islands out of Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
But a lot of people said that was kind of short notice
Short
because we
notice.
had announced that I think in the summer, and that's
Yeah.
about 9 months away. A lot of people, we plan cruises anywhere from like a month away to usually a year out. But some people like to plan 2 years ahead. So we're kind of learning that if we're going to do a group cruise, we might have to give more lead time than what we...
Right.
So
yes, we will try to plan one once we feel like
join
we've
us.
got, yeah,
If
please.
if anybody wants to come March, we're, like I said, I forget the exact date of March.
Yeah, we'll put that out again
Yeah.
on social media.
We'll
Let
let you know.
I can hardly wait to see your Pacific cruises. It's always fun to watch all the boats go in and out of the LA Long Beach. Yeah, it'll be interesting for us because it's been how many years ago?
17 maybe, something like that.
So I'm sure it'll be a whole new experience from what we're used to. Yeah, Celebrity's very good. Joseph's saying, yeah, we hear that. The river cruises tend to be more expensive up front, but not so much. But so much more is included. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah, my mother has done a Viking cruise, and we've had a few friends that have done it. And yeah, I like the idea of everything being all included up front, so you know what you're dealing with. So that is something to look to. Sorry.
I was just doing some research as you were talking there. So yeah, that March cruise on New Amsterdam on Holland America is leaving March 12th out of Fort Lauderdale, 7 days down to Aruba, I think Curacao, stops probably Half Moon Key. Yes. So yeah, that's we thought we were kind of getting that out in case anybody want to join us. So hopefully people do. We know there might be a couple of people already booked on with us. We're just trying to confirm for sure. But yeah, maybe even some other vloggers. So we'll let you know when we've confirmed that as well.
Yeah.
I'm falling behind the questions as I'm
I
doing.
think I caught up.
You caught us up?
Yeah.
Okay, so another question. If some of you were following our Instagram, and you saw us post a picture from the Norwegian Epic, which is the ship we were on in the Mediterranean a couple weeks ago. Hard to believe it was a couple weeks ago. It's so weird. Anyway, so we basically showed that there's no washrooms in those cabins. You might say no washroom.
Well, there is.
There's no dedicated room to the washrooms. That there is a toilet behind a sliding frosted glass, and there's a shower behind a frosted glass, and there's a sink in the middle of the room, kind of at the end of your bed where your feet are. It's really, really strange, and a lot of people are really shocked. And we knew we were getting into that ahead of time.
We did.
But it was even...
We saw videos of it.
It was even more so than what we thought as far as how that would feel and affect how you use the room.
We loved the Epic. Loved the ship.
Ship's
the
gorgeous.
layout,
Yep.
the service, everything. But we would pass on having a cabin with that style of bathroom any day of the week. Like it was...
Well, you've got to tell your story. I don't think we captured it on the vlog, but just a great story for our first moments in this new room in the Epic that has this weird bathroom setup.
Let me set up this story for you. So we left Rome. We took the train to get to the port. And I'm not going to butcher that name. You want to say it? You had it down.
Civitavecchia.
So anyways, from the time we left our hotel room till the time we got on board, I wasn't around any washrooms. It had probably been quite a while. So we're walking down the hallway, getting to our room. Our cabin guy met us outside, was a lovely man. He asked us if there was anything if we needed in our room, and Mr. Canuck loves to sleep with a lot of pillows. So I said, yeah, a couple extra pillows would be great. We get into our room. First thing I say to Mr. Canuck is, I need to use the washroom. Don't you dare open the door if anybody comes to it. No sooner do I go to use the washroom than our room guy is there. 30 seconds with 2 pillows. And Mr. Canuck's about to open the door. I'm like, don't open the door! So there you go. My fear that I had been worried about months previous to booking the Epic happened within the first 30 seconds of being in the room. Yeah.
Hey, what do you do? Like, I'm trying to yell through the door to the room steward.
Just 1 minute.
Hold on! And I'm sure he deals with this all the time.
Yes.
As this weird... Because if he would have opened the door, Mrs. Canuck is behind the frosted glass. You know,
and you can easily see the image of somebody there. It's not like you can't see that somebody is sitting on the toilet. Like, how embarrassing. So yeah.
Oh, so a couple more comments coming in as we're moving on from the... And the funny thing is, if Epic changed their layout in their staterooms for washrooms, we would go on that ship in a heartbeat because we loved everything else about the ship. It was a beautiful ship. I actually loved it.
Yeah.
So other questions coming in. Hardly wait to see the Pacific. I think you covered that one. Shannon's been on Celebrity Reflection twice. And Reflection has come up a couple of times in our hunt for cruises.
Right.
And we might try that class of Celebrity at some point. Celebrity's good. River cruises are more expensive up front. Yeah, there's a lot more included with the... Yeah, I think you covered that when I was pouring my drink or something. Everybody loves Celebrity. So we're going to have to try Celebrity because a lot of you out there have told us that they think that we would like Celebrity, and I think we would too.
Yes.
We just haven't gone there. And when I think of celebrity, I think, oh, I wish we would have done 20 Royal Caribbean ships instead of 20 Carnival, because the loyalty program for Royal Caribbean carries over on the celebrity, is what we've heard.
Right.
Whereas Carnival, it doesn't. Carnival's loyalty doesn't carry over to Princess or Holland America, which is...
Right. So we're platinum with Carnival because we were on so many cruises with them. But when we started going Princess and Holland America, none of our loyalty points covered over, whereas that's really good on Royal Caribbean Corporation that they do that for their celebrity ships in the Royal Caribbean.
That was a strong one. I should have stocked the bar with pop here before I started the live.
Felicia says, you have lots of cruises coming up. Glenn and I sent you a couple of deals we ran across.
Are we New Amsterdam and Noordam?
But it looks like you're already well booked.
Yeah.
Well,
it depends. Yeah, we're kind of
totally booked.
We've held off on booking any more cruises because we're really not sure how the future looks. That we've got a whole bunch of life decisions coming up in 23 that may change how we cruise. Right now, with our job situation, working full-time jobs, we can only get away really Christmas, summers, March breaks, that type of thing. Hopefully that changes in 2023 and we can book cruises when it's a little cheaper and we can do more of those adventurous type of cruises that we kind of can't do now because of our time restrictions.
Right.
So we're waiting on booking anything more. So it's not that we're not going to or we're booked solid. Heck, booked solid for me for cruises would mean we have 52 weeks of cruising booked.
Well, no, we are not ever going to live on a cruise ship. I think that would be a little much, but
we might.
We do plan on doing more. We are, a lot of our friends and family think it's crazy how much we cruise now. Just wait, because it's going to get more, we're hoping.
Yes, they think we're insane. My parents just asked me the other day when I was talking about our next bunch of cruises at Christmas and New Year's, like, can we come up and get some money off your money tree, is what they said to me. So, yeah, what you don't see in between all the crazy cruises and content on the vlogs is us relaxing on the couch, saving money for the next cruise for months at a time. So, we live.
And as you would know now, travel is a priority for us. So we're driving 2 very old vehicles. We don't have a car payment, all those sort of things, so that we can afford to cruise and travel like we do.
Shannon says that has friends there that travel Holland America and Celebrity and says they're very similar. So that's good news.
Good news.
Because we like Holland America.
Yeah.
And
I hear the Celebrity has much better shows in their main theater, and that was the only thing that I'm not a fan of with Holland America is what they're doing in their stage show theater rooms right now. So yeah, that's the main reason why we really want to try Celebrity.
Yeah, and maybe Celebrity has Crown Royal.
Maybe they do.
Maybe that'll be the swing point.
Oh man, if they do, I'll never get them on another cruise line, guys.
I just seen Southwest Florida Bulldog saying, "Stupid real life, always interfering with my vacations."
Right? Yeah,
for sure. Yep. Yeah, I keep telling my bosses, "You're lucky I even show up any day because I don't want to be here." Other question we had from someone online, they want to know if we ever found any warm water to swim in. So if you've seen our latest vlog that came out, would have been Wednesday from Spain, that Joe was trying to get in the water and it was freezing cold, like it was in Newfoundland, Canada.
Probably one of the prettiest beaches I've ever been to, guys. It was gorgeous, it was pristine, the water looked great. I went in there and I was stunned. It was like putting my feet in a bucket of ice water. I couldn't believe how cold it was. I thought, I'm in Spain, it's going to be warm. But
in Spain, after it had been like 40 degrees in Spain for like weeks before we got there. But yeah, the water was chilly. The North Atlantic still made its way to the coast there. But we did find water to get into.
Yes, we did.
Unfortunately, you have to wait literally to the last day of the cruise. The 28th day of our 28 days of cruising in Europe, we finally got into the water and had a good swim.
Right.
So
and we had a beautiful day there.
What a gorgeous spot.
That was a gorgeous spot.
I'd go back. It was a perfect ending to the cruise.
We've had so many people in our circle of friends and coworkers that ask us what was our favorite spot out of all of them. I'm telling you, you can't just name one, but there was so many. But yeah, there's.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous world we live in. We should appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, I just see another comment there. Karen saying love Holland America and Celebrity. So yeah, it seems like they're running neck and neck. So
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try Celebrity out for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Other questions that came in. So of course, if you've been part of our Facebook group, and if you haven't, you can go and join. It is a private group, so you have to kind of get approved. But I don't think we've not approved anybody. And we were talking about a few different things that might be coming up. One of the things is Jill's wardrobe. So Her 45 dresses. Everybody always asks, how is she fitting 45 dresses? Other people say, why do you need 45 dresses? You're only traveling for 28 days of cruising.
Yeah, a good friend of ours just prior to the trip was talking about us packing and leaving and how much clothes I'm bringing. And when I said 45, they thought I was making a joke, but I did. I brought 45 dresses. But again, 45 dresses. So I generally pack a dress for the day and a dress for the evening. So 45 dresses only computes to 20.
Yeah, you technically should have brought 56 dresses.
I should have.
You actually had to wear 11 dresses twice.
Yeah, there you go. See, that was me being conservative.
We
guys.
should have packed 5 suitcases. Maybe we would have had enough dresses. Yeah. Rose is saying she would hate that cabin bathroom. I'm sure she's talking about the Epic. Yeah,
absolutely.
We had a lot of people. We posted that picture. A lot of people said never. We'll not cruise that cruise line. We had family, unfortunately, that was on that exact same ship, but it was an inside cabin with the same layout for the bathrooms, and they ended up with
food poisoning.
Food poisoning, and they were stuck in their cabin for a few days in quarantine there until they got over it. Can you imagine being stuck with food poisoning, running to the bathroom, dealing with illness in a cabin, and it was family that wasn't married.
No.
Having to share that, I could lay in bed to give you a visual on this one.
Oh no, let's not get this graphic, please.
I could lay in bed, and if Jill went to the washroom area, I could reach out from the side of my bed and I could put my hand on her knee as she's in the washroom. That's
if I didn't have the door shut and the curtain pulled. And trust me, everybody, I did do both of those things. But the door was shut and there was a privacy curtain you could pull across the room.
Yes. So that's how intimate it is.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, we didn't realize it until very late, almost right before the cruise, that we had been given a little bit of an upgrade to our cabin. We thought we were going to be in a different room also, and they started looking and thinking something's different, and they had kind of upgraded us, but not really, just moved us in the ship more than upgraded us.
Yeah.
And we had booked a cabin where the bed was near the balcony, so you weren't right close to that bathroom.
Right.
And then they upgraded us to a room that the bed was right beside the bathroom area.
Yeah, they thought they were doing us a favor because they put us midship with a bigger balcony, but we had originally booked right forward ship. It was more like a cove balcony. But the reason why we picked that room was that the bed was farthest away from the toilet as you can get in the room. So, yeah. In retrospect, had we not been already we didn't realize that because we were cruising with Carnival and didn't see the email until we were basically getting ready to fly to Rome. Yeah. But had we been home and seen that email, we probably would have said, switch us back to our other room.
Yeah, we would have did a little more research, but we were happy to go midship from forward. This looks like an upgrade, but we didn't think about the configuration of the room. So, so Andrew wants to know, and I'm going to comment first before you go on. We only have about 5 minutes left before we're up with our hour. But how are you able to pack for long cruises? Do you find certain type of suitcase helpful for long trips? So I think you need to understand, especially for this 5-week trip, that we literally, a week or two ahead of time, suitcases are already out. We're already trying to line up, okay, what do my outfits look like? What do I think I'm going to be wearing? Your matching pants and shirts, and what can go with other than my outfits. I think I've worn everything at least twice, at least for evening wear. And I had packed 2 suits as well, so it wasn't like there was just a lot of dresses and not a lot of my clothes. I had 2 full suits. I had enough shirts and pants to get through 28 days of cruising, only wearing everything twice, so the equivalent of a 2-week cruise, plus 45 dresses, plus our cosmetics,
plus shoes.
Plus you got to think that we're vlogging. We're carrying, at least a dozen batteries, microphones, cameras. Like there's the vlogging component that adds to the luggage as well that we're carrying. So that's my comment, and so that's what we're navigating as we head up to the days of the cruise. I'll let you comment as to how you fit all your luggage into whatever luggage you're using. So,
okay.
So we had 2 carry-ons and 2 big checks, so a 50-pound, and then
carry-ons. So yes, you're right. There's certain carry-ons that fit more than others. So I have a few carry-ons that hardly you can get hardly anything in, and so those never go on a trip with us anymore because I found other ones that fit the dimensions that the airplane requires, but yet they can hold more clothes. But the biggest thing that I found, the biggest trick for packing for that many days is I roll everything from Mr. Canucks suit to my dresses, everything is rolled. Bathing suits, underwear, you name it, we roll it. You can get a lot more in. And you know, I had our suitcases jam-packed full, and I wasn't near the weight limit. I was 44 pounds on one and 46 pounds on the other when we flew.
Another 20, 25 pounds in the carry-ons.
Yeah, and both the carry-ons were around 20 to 22 pounds each when they were weighed. So that's what I do. That's my thing. I roll them, and it's really good. The other thing was being on Carnival Corporation or Carnival ships. They have laundry facilities on their ships that you can use for free with a free ironing board and all of that. So if you need to touch things up, that's, you know, you're able to do that.
Carnival had a laundry room that we showed Norwegian. We had to ask for an iron and an ironing board. They brought to our room.
And they did bring us an ironing board, so that worked out well. Yeah.
So, other questions before we wrap it up? Shannon's saying she's never tried Inside Cabin, but after watching our vlogs, we might give it a try. The first time we tried it, we were very apprehensive and we weren't sure we were going to like it.
Right.
And
we thought we'd try it once because the deal was incredible.
Yep.
It was the cheapest cruise we'd ever gone on, and we thought, well, let's give it a try. Because we don't hang out in our room.
Well,
we're out exploring the ship. We go to our room to change, shower, you know, go to bed. So we didn't find it bad.
yeah, well, I think if anything, having an inside cabin doesn't force you. Nobody's making you do anything in a cruise ship, but it kind of motivates you, I would say, to get out and just to explore the ship. You're not going to sit in your room for a long time because you go there, you change, you sleep, you shower, and you're back off doing something else. So
yeah, there's been times when we've had a balcony room where I'll sit on the balcony and read my book. If I'm in an inside cabin, I just go up to the Lido deck and read my book, or go to a nice air-conditioned lounge that's empty and read.
Jimmy's on. He wants to know if we fly in the day of embarkation. So
Only once.
Pre-COVID, we did it once, and we did it in the summer when we knew there wasn't going to be winter weather. Yeah. And we managed it all worked fine. But ever since then, we've always booked at least one day ahead of the cruise. We fly in the day before, and even that, we usually don't try to book the last flight the day before. So you don't want to. We try not to fly out at 9 or 10 at night the day before the cruise, being the last flight into. Yeah. We usually try to fly out afternoon, even morning, so that if we miss somewhere a flight or a connection, that we still got the rest of the day to get there, and then we're on the cruise the next day. So that's our rule of thumb. And I think until all the remnants of COVID and flight complications and luggage complications, we're going to continue to do that as long as we have to.
Right.
To give us peace of mind. We just finished booking our flights for Los Angeles for our next cruises. And we booked them to come in, actually we booked to come in 2 days before to Los Angeles, so we can have a whole day in LA. Yeah. And then we can get on the cruise the following day. So that's our approach.
And it's saved our bacon a few times, because there were times where we were stuck in Toronto with snowstorms or whatever, and we were supposed to be in San Juan 2 days before a cruise, and we ended up getting there like one night before. So it gives us peace of mind instead of having that panic. Yep. So yeah, we generally at least one night, but sometimes if we can get it off work and it can work out, we'll do 2 nights. Because it's nice to see the city you're going to, especially if you haven't been there a ton of different times, right?
Yep, and Rose says she's done a bunch of different celebrity ships there, the Equinox, Silhouette, Reflection, Solstice class ships, and we've kind of looked at those too, because that seems like a nice size to me, but we've heard so many good things about the Edge class ships that we might have to take the leap and do Edge class first. We're not sure. We'll see next year how that plays out. We've heard phenomenal things about the Edge class, so hence why we're looking at booking one. So, and Southwest Florida Bulldog saying, you sleep well on an inside, almost to a flaw, because you don't know when to get up.
Mr. Canuck is like that. So my biggest trick, what we did the very first time we booked an inside, was I went to Walmart and spent $4 on a little tiny travel clock that I just had in the corner that was lit up so that I wasn't touching my phone and that sort of thing. So it was just a battery operated little thing, and I just had it in the corner, and you could wake up and see that it was, 4:30 or 7:30.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, but we're an hour in, so sadly we'll have to kind of wrap it up here. We would go on talking for hours about this, actually. We got nothing going on tonight. If you want to do 10 hours, we're but we probably should, because I'm not sure if anybody wants to watch a replay of 10 hours of us talking about cruising. Funny. But we are going to come back and do another live in another month. And we appreciate everybody that's been on today. I can see there's been a ton of viewers and lots of good questions. And we loved Europe, and we love getting back to cruising, and we love seeing the crew not have to wear masks. So we're starting to see some normalcy return to cruising.
We are, and I mean, you know, you have to be safe, and of course, there's moments of where you're like, is this the safest thing to do if you're crowded in an elevator? So again, you know, we traveled with masks for the majority of the time if we needed it, but and of course, one time that I really needed it, I forgot to put fresh ones in. You'll see that on a vlog. So we ran into an issue there one day, but you know, just wash your hands and you know, live your life. That's all we can do at this point.
Get out
right?
there, travel, cruise, and yeah. And as always, follow us along with our vlogs. If you have any questions, ask us. And we're also on Instagram, so check that out too. And with the new Facebook group, we're asking more. We're not asking. We're answering more questions. We're also asking questions of you because we also need to learn from you.
Yes.
And
this is the best thing about it. We find we learn so much from you guys telling us your experiences and sharing with us. So please continue to do that.
It's one big community for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I see everybody's saying thank you and thank you for joining us. It's without you, we're just talking to a computer for no reason. So it's great to have everybody and have everybody watching the vlog. So
yeah, and if you are interested in joining us in March, send us a message. We can get you the details of everything.
Or December. We're going to Los Angeles, folks.
Yeah, that's true. If you want it, if you don't have Christmas plans, I'm sure most people do at this point. Christmas is a hard time for a lot of people to travel. But anyways, we are going to be in LA for Christmas.
And New Year's.
So there you go.
Yeah,
you're welcome to join us.
So thanks, and thanks everybody for joining again. And we'll sign off here. And then also we'll be following the comments for this. So this will be reposted again for people to watch all over if you didn't see it live, and we'll answer questions that come up from that as well. And we'll do this all over again in about a month when we're finished the first 12 days of that Carnival vlog series. 2 videos a week are coming out, so Wednesday and Saturday, and then the following week there'll be another one that'll see us go back to France and Spain, eventually Paris and Amsterdam. So keep following along. Cheers, everybody, and goodbye.
What lovely comments.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.